Hello, leaders, and welcome to the Global Sport Report channel. Today, we can finally say that the World Cup has begun, and we're fully underway. Match week 1 is now completed, so I wanted to talk about we're gonna fill out a bracket for the World Cup and who we think is gonna win and take it all. So that should be fun. I found a free website that we could do that. Feel free to do the bracket yourself and tag Global Sport Report in that, and then that'd be dope. Maybe I'll shout some of you guys out. Let's get into the video in the World Cup 2024 USA, Canada, Mexico. Let's go. Alright, so boom, we are going to do our predictions on who we think is going to win each group, advance in the World Cup, and eventually to be champions. Alright, how do we do this? It says step 1, pick each group's top 3, tab teams in finishing order, first, second, third. Alright, so Group A we have Czech Republic, Mexico, South Africa, South Korea. Mexico is a host nation, so I'm going to give it to Mexico. They did win their first game against South Africa. And next I'm going to go with South Korea. Heung-min Son is getting older now, but I do believe his play style being more of a center forward as opposed to a top striker or even a winger sometimes he could play really just will allow him to drop back, take that not Harry Kane, because Harry Kane is very extreme with it, but 10 role at times when he needs to. For Czech Republic, South Africa, I'm gonna go with the Czech Republic. I know they got some pretty good players, and decent players, I should say, but I can't think of anybody from South Africa off the top of my head. Next, we got Group B. I'm going to go with Switzerland to take this home. Switzerland always has really good talent pool, just never any execution, and I'm going to take them to advance. For number 2 in this, I'm going to say Bosnia, just because Qatar is definitely not good, not even doing good in their host nation when they hosted the World Cup. Canada has never won a World Cup match, tying their first match in the tournament this year. But I do believe in match week 2 they did pick up a win, so I'm going to place them at third over Qatar. And I don't even need to explain it that much. All right, Group C, I'm going to go with Brazil. And the reason I'm going with Brazil is I just feel like there's going to be more Brazilians in the stadiums when they play. Morocco is a really good team, especially looking back at what they did the last World Cup. But just judging by the game that they played last, Brazil just has more firepower. I'm going to give it to Brazil. Morocco, pretty decent defense. I feel like Brazil is a more complete team. Haiti or Scotland, I'm going to go with Scotland. Haiti's a smaller country, aren't really expected to do anything. That's why I'm having them being eliminated. Next, Group D, America's group. Okay. Decently strong group. Decently even. I would say even. I would say this is an even group. Paraguay, definitely on paper, is set to be the favorites. But USA is definitely. That was a mistake. On paper, I say the USA is going to be favorited. Obviously, the USA is favorited as it is the host nation. Second, I'm still going to go with Paraguay. I just think that the USA dominated them because, again, it is their host nation. So they're probably intimidated. But I do believe Paraguay is a good team. And I'm really excited to see what this USA team is going to do, especially considering the goal line in which they won 4-1. In the end, for third, I'm going to go with Turkey. Turkey, soccer in general is just being more prevalent. They're investing more money into their leagues, and you're starting to see a lot more Turkish talent in a larger capacity. So I'm going to go with Turkey going third, placing third. All right, Group E. This is the clear favorites. Obviously, going to be Germany. Germany won their match 7-1, I believe. Yeah, so a repeat of Brazil, Germany, absolutely dominated. I mean, was it really even a question? Again, they are playing Curacao, who is the smallest country in the World Cup. So yeah, I'm going to go with. I believe Ecuador lost to Ivory Coast. They did 1-0. For number 2, I'm gonna go Ivory Coast, just because I think Ecuador is the better team. They do have a better defense. They got players like Hincapié, Caicedo, Pacho. So they do have a better defense, and I think that their offense is decent enough where they should be better than Ivory Coast. But it's just going to really be hard to bounce back because Ecuador's not beating Germany. I don't really believe they're going to beat Germany. They're going to beat Curacao, but that's only one win. Now Ivory Coast has the chance, which would probably be Curacao because Curacao is not a very good team, and they will definitely lose to Germany. So that's 2 wins for Ivory Coast and 1 for Ecuador. It's gonna be really hard to bounce back from that. It stinks because it was a 1-0 match. It kind of seems like their dreams of advancing in the World Cup are fading, but that sadly is seeming like what it's gonna be. But of course, I will put them at third because I don't expect Curacao to win a single game. If they tie one, that's great for them. All right, Group F. This group is very interesting because the Netherlands are the favorites to win, but they just tied to Japan 2-2. A lot of people are saying this is the dark horse. I don't know if I believe it, and I'm super duper convinced by the match performance that Sweden beating Tunisia 5-1 exhibited. I'm gonna have to go with Sweden to win this group. They looked absolutely unstoppable, and Isak looks unstoppable as well. And Jokeres is just being a clunky fuck as he always is. Shout out to my guy though, Jokeres. I'll go with Netherlands number 2. Japan, I'm gonna go with number 3. Even though I don't think that Tunisia is bad, I think that Tunisia does have a lot of potential, but as of right now, it's not their time. All right, for Group C, we're just gonna go right into it. Belgium gonna be number 1. They've been dominating in the world rankings for the past, I want to say 10 years. So obviously it's gonna be Belgium. Number 2, I really don't mind Iran. I also feel like Mo Salah's gonna improve. Let's go Egypt. Second, I'm gonna go Egypt. Egypt did tie to Belgium, so I think if they just beat Iran and New Zealand each, I think they'll be okay. Iran is kind of sneaky though. Iran, I do believe they were decent in the World Cup last year, so I think they advanced. Is what I mean to say. Group H, we got Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, Spain, and Uruguay. Off the bat, I'm going to have to go Spain, even though they did tie their first game to the easiest team in this division. I think by this week and the next match day, Lamine Yamal being, I usually would say 100%. He looked 100%. He looked fantastic when he came on. And Nico Williams almost at 100%. Maybe they want to sit him one more game, bring him on in the second half. Do believe Spain is, going to make it very far in this tournament. Next, I'm gonna go Uruguay, just because they had that striker from Sporting, Valverde, and Uruguay is always, going to be prevalent. Sneaky dark horse, gonna shout out Saudi Arabia, especially because soccer's getting bigger over there. And yeah, they're practicing with a lot higher caliber of players now. So definitely gonna have Saudi Arabia going third. And again, these aren't the worst. These aren't the hardest picks, just because there's gonna be one bad team in each group. This one, of course, we're gonna go France. Right, France is the way that they're balling out is just bonkers. And again, they have so much depth that's not even a question. Second, I'm gonna go Norway. I think that Norway is also gonna go pretty decently far in this tournament. And if they were in anybody else's group, I might take Norway to win it. Except for maybe Spain. Yeah, France is just dominant. Won their first game. So, they're going to go Senegal. I think Senegal showed a lot of potential in their game versus France, even though they lost by a considerable margin. I do think they have some potential in them. All right, Group J. Obviously, going to go Argentina. Messi's balling out. Second, I'm going to go Algeria. Algeria, I think that for Group J, I'm going to go Austria at second, and then Algeria at third. Group K, I'm going to go Portugal did tie. I don't think it matters. I think Portugal finds a way to make it out. I think, honestly, you might have to consider benching Ronaldo or bringing him on in the second half. Humble him a little bit, you know? Second place, Group K, I'm going to go Colombia. I was thinking about DR Congo, but I just can't do it. Because Colombia has that striker from Sporting. His name is Luis Suarez. That's why I got him confused with Uruguay. Oh, buddy. Yeah, they have Luis Diaz. I think Gary Mina's still playing. Yeah, I'm gonna go Colombia. They beat Uzbekistan, so that also brings me to third place. I'm gonna go DR Congo. I was thinking maybe Uzbekistan because of that center back that plays for Man City, but you're gonna need more than a center back, and I can't think of any other player from Uzbekistan. So I'm gonna go DR Congo. I can think of a couple from there. Group L, last group, we have Croatia, England, Ghana, Panama. England dominated Croatia. They did great. Ghana beat Panama. I'm going to go Croatia number 2. Again, Croatia did not look bad. They just got a lot of goals scored on them. Twice as many goals scored on them. And then I'm going to go Ghana. Panama, not coming from a great conference, so it's going to be hard to justify, putting them through. I got a friend who's Panamanian. He was actually at the game. Sorry, Derek. I have no faith in your country returns to the World Cup, man. Sorry about that. All right, step 2. Route the best third place teams. 8 of 12 third place teams advance. Pick which group third fills each slot. All right, so the first batch: Czech Republic, Canada, Scotland, Turkey, Japan. Yeah, this is hot garbage. I'm gonna go Japan. And then who do they play? Germany. Yeah, I just think Japan's probably the best team. Do I go Japan or Turkey? I'm gonna go Japan just because they tied the Netherlands. All right, I forgot Turkey lost to Australia, so I'm gonna go Australia third. All right, so then Japan. All right, let's get back to step 2. I'm gonna go Saudi Arabia. Again, like I said, a lot of their players are playing against top talent in the Saudi league, so I do think that made them get better. All right, next phase. I'm gonna go Ecuador. No. No, I'll go Senegal, just because their attack looked better. All right, next up, Algeria, DR Congo, Ecuador. I'm gonna go Ecuador. Okay, now Algeria, I'll go with the home team. Czech Republic, Algeria, I'll go Algeria. All right. Now we're getting to the knockout round. Round 32. Wow. This is exciting. South Korea versus Bosnia Herzegovina. Oh, I always mess that up. Herzegovina. Or Herzegovina. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go South Korea. I think that they could surprise some people. Next we got Germany, Japan. Germany's going far in this tournament. This will be where it gets ended for Japan, unfortunately. Sweden versus Morocco. That's going to be a very fun game to watch. Morocco, pretty good defense against Sweden's spectacular offense. Maybe they just got lucky with those 2 bangers. I want to go Sweden, but my heart says Sweden, my mind says Morocco. I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to say Sweden. I'm going to go Sweden. If you watch that game versus Tunisia, you would swear that team was not Sweden because it was nuts. Brazil and Netherlands, that's also a really good matchup. And this is where the dream state ends. I'm going to go with Brazil over Netherlands. Let's not forget about Hugo Bonito. What are you talking about? Nah. Is Brazil it's going to be today. It's going to be this year where Brazil get back on the road kicking. No pun intended. And I just I don't like the Netherlands team. I don't think that they have what it takes, honestly. I'm happy that Memphis Depay is playing because I like to watch him play, but, Is he washed? Yeah, he plays in Brazil. Ironically enough. All right, France, Saudi Arabia. This we don't even need to explain this. All right, Ivory Coast versus Norway. I think Norway is going to go extremely far in this tournament. I think that it's going to be her Erling Haaland's time to shine. He's going to dominate. I think Odegaard is going to do pretty good too, which as an Arsenal fan and hearing that Arsenal may be trying to sell him is good to hear if he does good because then we could jack up the price. All right, Mexico versus Senegal. I'm going to go Mexico. I think we had them as winners in their group. Yes, correct. And the home team, one home team, so not really much to say. England, Ecuador. I'm going to go England. England's squad is way too deep, so let me get England. USA versus Canada. That's what our predictions have us at. Obviously I'm gonna go USA. We do everything better than Canada. And again, Canada just won their first ever World Cup match, either today or the day or yesterday. So, USA's beating Paraguay and has legendary moments for the World Cup. We got Belgium, Algeria. I'm gonna go Belgium. That one's not really too hard. Colombia, Croatia, Spain, Austria, Spain. Switzerland over Iran. Sorry. I think Switzerland may surprise a lot of people this year with their performance. There's a possibility. Even though they tied to Qatar, which is really not good. Argentina versus Uruguay, South American showdown. We're gonna go Argentina. That's we don't really need to talk about that too much. Portugal, Australia. Give me Portugal. Paraguay versus Egypt. I'm gonna go Egypt. I expect Paraguay to mess up again. All right, next we got Germany, France. You see, this is really where they start to get tough. Germany absolutely dominated their game. First game they played. But again, it's only Curaçao. I'm going to go France. That's going to be a hard one, though. But I'm going to go France. Just because, like I said, they're stacked. And the way their offense is moving, can't stop that. You can't stop Olise. You can't stop Mbappe. And even if you find some way to stop him, you got Ousmane Dembele right there as well. Ballon d'Or winner. All right, South Korea versus Sweden. Again, I'm riding the Sweden hype train. I think that they could go far. I think Victor Gyökeres and Isak are a good combo. Along with that midfielder from Brighton, which I literally just talked about him. I don't know why I can't remember his name. Ayari? I think it's Ayari. Yassine Ayari. Yep. All right, Brazil versus Norway. We're gonna go Norway. Like I said, I think that they had a potential. I did want to see Brazil go far, but I do have a lot of faith in Norway. Maybe bugging. That might have been a really horrible shout. They have nothing but offense. All right, Mexico, England. We're going to go England. That's not a hard one. Croatia, Spain. We're going to go Croatia. USA versus Belgium. Repeat of the 2014 World Cup, I believe, where USA actually managed to knock out Belgium. Shout out Tim Howard. History tends to repeat itself. We're in the United States of America. No other sports fans in the world unlike ours, I think, in my opinion at least. Argentina versus Egypt. Give me Argentina. Defending champions. Yeah. Messi versus Mo Salah. That'll be fun to see them playing on the same pitch as each other. Switzerland, Portugal. I'm going to give Portugal their flowers. I'm going to say that Portugal's definitely going to win that game versus Switzerland. All right, it's the quarterfinals. France and Sweden. Sweden's unfortunate hype train in the World Cup comes to an end. I have to give it to France. I think they're way too good. Spain versus USA. As an American, this hurts me to say, but the way that Spain plays soccer just can't compare to how the US does. So we're going to advance Spain. I believe this is the only time. This and when the US played Argentina is the last time they were in the quarterfinals. Norway and England. I cannot live in a world where Erling Haaland beats England, as he will never stop talking about it. Norway's hype train comes to an end. We got England advancing. Argentina versus Portugal. It would be one last Argentina versus Portugal with Messi and Ronaldo. I really hope Ronaldo figures it out with Portugal. I do really like Portugal's team. Great defense. Great midfield. Pretty good offense if Ronaldo was actually doing his job. I could see them let Ronaldo win just to try to keep that GOAT debate going. But I'm listening to my brain on this one, and I'm going to say Argentina advance. All right, now we get the semifinals. 4 teams left. The 4 teams left who Sinatra thinks are going to be left in the tournament of Global Sport Report is going to be France, Spain, England, and Argentina. France and Spain, I wish this was the final match. It very well could be. I don't know if it's technically can be. I was going into this video thinking that I was going to go with Spain to win it all. After watching that Senegal versus France game and how Elise is playing, and I've said his name like 17 times this stream. I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to just let y'all watch. I think France is going back to the World Cup final. I think they have something to prove. I think they have the capacity, the players. I think that they can make the final. Now, who is playing them in the final? England versus Argentina. I don't see Messi getting two World Cups. And I don't see him reaching 3 World Cup finals. So I'm going to go with England in the finals. So we have the final matchup, England versus France. 3rd place matchup, Spain versus Argentina. I'm going to go Spain. I think Spain, if they were on this side of the table, they would advance to the finals. But unfortunately, since they didn't, they are competing for the bronze medal. Let me get Spain for the 3rd place. Now, who's going to take 1st place? Who's going to take 2nd place? Who's going to win the World Cup? The most exciting competition in the most watched sport in the world. The most popular sport in the world. Where 2 teams play for not their club's badge on their World Cup final. Where 2 teams play for their country's flag and not the badge on their jersey. Not their club team, their country. Sometimes you'll face a country where they may have implicated war on your nation, maybe some controversy. This is why sports is a great thing because it brings us together. In terms of the final, we have France. France is a loaded roster. The best attackers, in my opinion, and forwards in the World Cup. Versus England. England does also have a lot of squad depth. Harry Kane is a player unlike anyone else. Harry Kane runs up and down the field as a striker, whether that be to play defense, create chances, set up play, which is the same thing. They have that. They have Bukayo Saka. Who knows what it takes to win now? All the Arsenal players. Harry Kane, who didn't know what it was like to win, and now he's in Bayern, he knows what it's like to win. Some Crystal Palace guys who knows what it like, who know what it's like to win, that being the Conference League. So Aston Villa guys who know what it means to win. You get what I'm saying. Both teams have excellent talent pools. I hate to say England is going to lose in another final. Lost the Euros to Italy. To Bukayo Saka missed penalty. The loss versus Spain in the Euros. It just seems like it's never coming home. And honestly, I think it still doesn't. Give me France to win the World Cup and to be world champions. Give me France. Give me 2-time World Cup winner Kylian Mbappe. Let's see if William Saliba can win the Ballon d'Or. No, it's not going to happen. It wouldn't be him. Let's see if Michael Elise can do it. So yeah, there you have it. My champion. Got France. I think France is going to win the World Cup. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that it could be Spain? Do you guys think it could be England? Or do you think Argentina's going back to back? Hey, do you think the USA is going to win? What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. If you guys are enjoying the content, please drop a follow, subscribe. We're trying to work towards making this a full-time thing, so allow me to do that, get you guys some content. So that's been the World Cup episode of the Global Sport Report. Hope you guys enjoyed. Can't wait to see the next round of games. I wish this would go on forever, but unfortunately, it only happens every 4 years. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Sinatra out.